Hey there, Mike Dunn with Gamingtrend. We're here at our booth at Origins Gamefair on the last day, Sunday. And I've got to say, I'm really excited about what we're about to show you. This is a game that we saw in an early prototype state at Gen Con last year. And we were so impressed with it then that we gave it one of our coveted Gen Con, Best of Gen Con awards. Now, it's been a while since we've seen it, and just visually it has just changed almost completely. Koltin from Kinson Key Games is here to walk us through it. And Koltin, like, it's just a visual blast of color and wood and awesomeness. Tell me all about it. I can't wait to hear about it.
So this is Galactic Cruise. So in the game, we are the first company to offer space vacations, basically taking cruises into outer space. And we as the players work as supervisors of the company. The CEO is getting old and stepping down, and the board of directors is looking for someone to take his place. So over a 3-year period, so we have our 1, 2, 3. Over 3 years, you have you have to impress the board, convince them that you should be the CEO. The game itself does not take 3 years. It takes about 90 to 150 minutes to play.
I mean, a game that looks like this taking 3 years, I think I'd be okay with that, to be honest.
Absolutely.
But that would just mean I wouldn't get to play it over and over again as often. But I'm really happy to yeah, let's keep on going.
Let's do it. Several systems in the game working, but the main one is our worker placement mechanism. So like a typical worker placement game, you'll take a player off your board and put it onto one of our 6 locations, and then you get 2 actions there. Now every location has 2 actions there, so if yellow came here, yellow could take this top action and then this bottom action, or the bottom then the top, or could even take the same action twice. Throughout the game, as you can see at this location here, where you can build what we call developments, there's these little cogs on your player board. Building a development opens up more inventory space for you, and then it comes out onto the board where you can either invent a technology, such as getting a discount on your fuel when you launch, or it can come out into what we call the network. So let's say yellow put their development right there. Now when yellow takes a worker placement action and comes to this location, they still get 2 actions, but can now choose from these or these because they are connected.
Oh.
And it works adjacently. So yellow could even come here and say take this action and this action because they are connected.
But they can only take 2 actions.
That's right. Okay. Yes. Your actions are always capped at 2, but your selection does change. Other people can also use your developments. So, if the pink player was here, the pink player could utilize yellow's developments by paying them, giving them a little bonus.
I was going to say, there better be a little kickback there.
Absolutely. Yeah, so we have this reputation track at the bottom of the board. Reputation can be used for lots of things, but one thing it does is it discounts it further and further, so that if pink was, say, way up here, everyone loves pink. Pink is a stand-up guy or stand-up girl here.
Right.
They get to use everything for free, but if you are kind of a crummy person, yeah, you're having to pay out $2 to everyone who's there. So
that's an interesting pairing of mechanics there. That's
totally
cool.
So if it looked like this, and say we had a third player here, say that green is in the game here, and green comes along and wants to take an action here and then maybe use this connection. Green has to pay yellow and pink. So it gets really expensive really fast if you're down here. But as you're bumping up, maybe it doesn't get too bad.
Nice.
So yeah, a worker placement game here, where you are placing out onto the board, taking your 2 actions. It's also friendly worker placement. So if pink comes along and wants to take the same action, they can. They just bump yellow out. Yellow comes back to the player board, covers up a little funding icon, and yellow gets a bonus.
Okay.
So instead of blocking people, you're instead setting yourself up for potentially getting a worker kick back to you and getting a bonus there.
Yeah, now that's one of the things that really intrigued us at Gen Con when we saw it. It was that friendliness
Yes.
and like kind of avoiding that problem that some worker placement games have where it's blocked away and like it gets to one person's turn and suddenly they're like, oh well, there's nowhere I can go, or that's the thing that I was going to do. You've totally ruined my plans.
Yeah.
Of course, the side effect of that is that the player that you bump off basically gets another placement that round, right? Or is
that's exactly right.
Excellent.
Yeah. So basically, if no one bumps you, you have to take what we call a meeting turn, where you pull everyone back to your break room. You still get a bonus for them every time you cover up one of these little icons. That's a bonus for you, and you still get to take one action out on the board, as long as it's next to a place where you've invested a development.
Okay.
So we've really tried to eliminate that dead turn feeling that a lot of like roundless worker placement games have, where it's like, oh, if you don't have any workers, pull them back in that turn. That doesn't feel good. We want people to feel good.
Nice. Nice.
So I say we're placing these workers, but why are we placing them? What are we doing? So around the board we have different actions here. This one here allows us to acquire blueprints. So these are things that can be taken for free. So yellow may take maybe this one and this one. They're free to take, and you get to take 2 of them.
Nice.
And they go into your little, I like to think this is like your desk, right? These aren't built yet. They're just pieces of paper.
Gotcha.
But you'll eventually be able to take an action such as installing them into your shuttle. Or acquiring a new shuttle. Because every shuttle can only have, or every ship can only have 3 segments in it.
Right.
As you can see, I already have 2 in this one over here. So, maybe I could, pay to install this one, pay the $2, flip it over to the beautiful ENO tool, full color,
yes,
and slip it in. But if on maybe my first action, I had decided to build a new ship, I could take a new ship. It's going to give me a bonus in a form of scoring.
Okay, so you get the cockpit and the fuselage.
Absolutely. Yep. And so all the engines just have this immediate bonus on them.
Nice.
So 2 victory points and a funding bonus. The cockpits all have a form of scoring that fires off whenever you launch this, as well as at the end of the game.
Yep.
Notice there is -5 victory points on there. As the company gave this to you, you got this freely, so you better launch this before the end. But as soon as you launch it, it'll flip over.
Very nice.
And everything is good.
Very nice.
So now I could install that second segment, paying the cost, and put it into my other one here. Look at that dinosaur.
All right. Yeah.
Little hollow dome there.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. So you're acquiring blueprints, you're making new shuttles, you're installing into them. Over here we have a place where you can schedule cruises, right? So Yellow could send down their little cruise consultant here to basically reserve a cruise for themselves. This is also where you can advertise to the guests we have. You'll notice kind of throughout on the cruises, the guest colors, the segments that we're building in.
Yeah.
We have these colors, right? So we have the orange, who are our adventurous vacationers.
Right.
They're not here to sit around and drink by the pool. They're here to hospitalize themselves.
Yeah.
Right. Whereas our purple guests, those are our relaxing folks. Those are people who they are here to chill out, have a good time. And then our teal guests are our family focused guests.
Nice.
Now you can take anyone onto any ship to any location, but it's even better if you can get those things to synergize together. So if I'm going to take this relaxing trip, I may want to, build some more relaxing things. This maybe on a later turn I put this relaxing tanning deck.
Of course.
In here.
Tanning deck to go with the holographic dinosaurs.
Totally.
Yep.
And then I could eventually maybe advertise to this relaxing guest, so that as the systems of the game kind of play out, those things are all going to have a little bit of a positive feedback loop of, I'm taking a person who wants to relax on a relaxing ship to a relaxing place, and I'm going to get benefits in the game for that.
Nice.
But you're never totally stuck. So if this purple just wasn't here, and I had to advertise to this orange guy, That's fine. I'm still going to get paid for that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just he may not enjoy it as much.
Not quite as much synergy.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, we definitely want to make a game where players never feel stuck, but they feel clever when they're able to make it all work.
Right. Right.
We have some other places on the board. Other actions here. These here deal with our agenda cards. So these let you break the rules of the game, right? So on your turn, this one says, hey, when I'm launching, if I'm short on resources, I can just pay money for them. Do a little last minute sale.
Nice. Nice.
Like this one here, normally launching would be a separate action. It's like I can either take an action out here or I can launch a shuttle. This one lets you take one action and then launch, so you can shortcut yourself.
Nice.
And we have a whole deck of those that players, this whole con of new players have been like, how are all these cards how is any of this legal?
Right.
How do I possibly choose here?
It's
But the system
ability's so good they're criminal.
Yes, it's great. And to that point, this action lets you take two of these. So maybe I take this one, this one.
Okay.
And these don't refill. So as these dwindle down, they're just kind of gone for a while until someone takes this refill action, which gives them all of these bonuses, and then we put out new cards. So as people take those cards you really wanted, they're actually opening up places for you to get a bonus. And here's the part that I love. This is the part that almost feels criminal. That's why you have to lose reputation for it. Is if I play this amazing card on my turn, I'm feeling really good about myself.
Yeah.
But now if you want to come and acquire some cards, you can burn a reputation and steal my idea. Right? It's this idea of oh, you played that great card? Awesome. Let me just drop a reputation and I'll take that one when I acquire cards.
I'm glad I thought of it.
Totally. Yeah. Yeah, we like this idea of if one card feels more powerful and someone just gets it and then they use it, other people can get it. It's not just loss.
I like that. I like that. It's I like how you've gotten away from a lot of Euro games and worker placement games sometimes feel like kind of a solitaire experience, right? You're all just playing your own little things on your own, and a lot of them kind of rely on that worker placement blocking mechanic to add a little friction between players. But you took that away, but you've replaced it with something that's even a little more interesting.
Yeah.
Right?
So we really leaned into this ebb and flow thing of as cards get taken, these bonuses get revealed for whoever wants to refill. The same thing happens over here. So we actually have a place on the board where you can just purchase resources.
Okay.
For money.
Right.
We also have a place you can get them for free if they're available.
Gotcha.
So here, you can just take 3 free resources, any combination you can hold. But as they dwindle out, people can't really take them.
Oh,
so we have a action where you can
bump them
discard
up.
an agenda card out of your hand.
Oh, wow.
Raise it all the way to the top, and get 1 money for all that you added back. So as they get low, it's a good time to make some quick money, especially if you're holding a card that you're like, doesn't fit with my strategy.
Right.
I'll burn that, make some money. Or if they're super up high, it's a great time to come along and, get yourself a little fill up.
And again, it's something that's hugely beneficial, but it also helps your opponents.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many times I've played this.
That's awesome.
Thinking I knew what I was going to do on my turn. And then the person before me, they're like, yeah, I'm going to take this action twice, and I'm going to take, I'm going to bottom out the oxygen and do some other stuff. I'm like, I guess I will wait till next turn. I'm going to come and discard a card, fill that up, and get paid.
Very nice. Very nice.
So we tried to lean into that as much as we could with the design. And again, you're doing all this so that you can eventually have a ship that is ready to launch. So I'm gonna cheat here just a little bit. I'm gonna say that Yellow's scheduled that one, maybe attracted this guest. Maybe they even paid out a little bit more to attract this guy. You'll see we have a queue of guests here. These people they're ready to go. They are 1 targeted ad away from climate change.
Right.
Further back and then further back, we have people that need more and more convincing.
Gotcha.
So, when it's all said and done, I've got my ship built. I've built up some resources. Maybe I've invented a technology. On my turn, instead of placing it on the board, I can go to my launch elevator, and my pilot's going to ride up this elevator and launch the ship.
That's so awesome.
Yeah, and we did like a little 5, 4, 3.
Oh, that's awesome.
So it's funny because I'm like, so step 5 is actually step 1 here. So yeah, so step 5.
But is step 3 still profit?
Step
Sorry,
3 step 3 is still profit. And Step 3 is always step 3, no matter which way you do. That's great.
It's a little South Park reference there, obviously.
Totally.
That goes right up top.
It does.
Nice. That's
yeah,
nice.
and these people load in, so whenever you put 2 segments together, it makes a little place for a meeple to go.
Okay. Oh, and that. So yeah, you don't get to place 3 meeples. You can only place
2. That's
maximum
right.
2. Ah, okay.
That's right. Yeah, so that's the first step of launching.
So a minimum amount of sections is 2.
It is 2.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. That's cool.
Yep.
Very cool.
2 segment minimum. 2 fuel is the smallest cruise you can go on.
Okay.
And when it comes to paying, as we'll see here. Oh, so sorry. Step 4 here is adding one of these color cubes to our track here. This is just our progress track for the game.
Right.
Kind of a timer. And then we have to pay for this thing because you can't fly for free.
Right.
The cost here is 1 food per person going on this trip. So we have these two adventurous people going. We got to feed them. But your pilot also has to eat. This is 2024. We got to feed people.
Right.
To work for us. So this is gonna be 3 food for us. Oxygen is per segment you installed here.
Okay.
So again, 3 oxygen. And then fuel is just listed right there. It's going to be 2 fuel. I only have 1 fuel.
Uh-oh.
Luckily, I had my thinking cap on earlier. I invented this technology earlier.
1 fewer full
I
fuel.
pay 1 fewer.
Wow.
You got it.
Okay.
Once it's paid for, we score this thing up. This says I get 1 point for every segment I've installed. So I would get 5 points, which would just be tracked around the outside of the board.
That's every segment you've installed on all of your ships.
Yes.
Oh.
And it flips over and gets rid of that negative 5 points.
There you go.
And I don't know if you can see here, we now have a nice flight path.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Yes,
oh
sir.
My gosh.
Yeah, and then earlier I didn't go over this, but like when you schedule, you get to take a bonus here.
Uh-huh.
So maybe I took 4 money earlier and flip this over. When you launch, this comes with you because as you're tracking your trip around, when you hit these destinations, you get to drop these off and really start making
Building up that engine.
Building up an engine and making yourself more asymmetric than your opponents. Because
Nice.
I'm like, oh, Pink, you can only build 3 segments into each shuttle? You can only have 3 shuttles? I can do a 4x4 now.
Oh wow. Okay, that's super cool.
Or maybe maybe if I was going to a different destination, I'm like, it really stinks that you can't bump yourself because you get this many bonuses.
I see.
If I'm here, I'm like,
wow.
you know what? I think I'm going to be able to bump myself. So we have mathematically here, following 8 tokens, 9 upgrades, and let's be honest, you're going to launch maybe 3, 4, 5 times.
Yeah.
So every time you play, depending on how these come out, you're going to have a different combination of special things you can do.
Very cool.
And some of them line up great. Like this one says, I can have extra segments. This one says, if I lose a little bit of reputation for overbooking, I can just take extra people with me. So if I have more rooms and can take extra people, I can take lots of folks who I can then score at destinations.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so I mean that's definitely not a how to play video for it.
Right.
Lots of like little nuanced rules.
Certainly.
But yeah, the idea here is we're building up the ships. We're building out the company. As the game goes on, more and more of these come out, so people are able to chain actions together.
Now, what's
paying
this
each other
up here in the corner?
Yeah, that's a great question. So when we're in space, so for instance here, when you land on this little starry icon, that is a day in space. So if you're going on a cruise, like the day at sea, where you're not anywhere, you're just on the boat the whole day.
Yeah, yeah.
So on those times, your guests are going to explore your ship, and they're going to give you a benefit for everything they see that they like in your ship.
Gotcha. So that's when you score the match color, or
Yeah,
that's when the match color comes into play.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So like these adventurous guys, they're going to check out our climb zone and our laser tag. They're each going to check it out. So this guy will give me 2 bonuses. This guy will give me 2 bonuses.
Nice.
And in this game, that bonus is advertisements.
Okay.
But in another game, it could be money. It could be resources. We have 2 others for reputation and victory points. So again, if you're unlocking these upgrades that let you take lots of people, and you hit one of those, and you've built your ship just right, it's crazy. One time we were playing, and the bonus was victory points, and someone had
oh my god,
3 icons, and they had crammed like 4 or 5 people into their ship that all matched,
and they blew everybody
It was immediately
away.
like a big like
Let's
a
take
2-corner turn around the victory point.
Nice.
But they had to pay more oxygen to get those extra segments. They had to pay more food to feed everybody. So there is definitely an opportunity cost there.
Nice.
We love opportunity cost. Like, what is it worth to me to get those points?
Right.
At the expense of doing something.
No, that feels like an underlying kind of credo of the game, like
for sure,
or idiom. I'm not sure what the right word is.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Like it's definitely something that's popping up multiple times in these mechanics, and I love it. Now, I just want to note, like, obviously you said these are variable at the beginning of the game. It looks like these are as well.
Yes. So you always have the same 12 action tiles.
Right.
And this is the recommended first game setup. But if we were playing, an advanced game, we could take all these together, shuffle them up. They are mirrored, so they can fit in
be on either top or
bottom, whatever. And that really plays into variability. Same with. So this is an expert worker tile, so you could hire more workers throughout the game.
Nice.
That have the lab coats that give you special abilities.
And then obviously all of these right here.
All the technologies. Yeah. And then even something as simple as the way the cards come out.
Right.
The way the cruises come out. Lends this to... I tried to do the math on it one time, and it was one of those
variations.
Like my calculator ran out of space. It was just like, this to the power of that. And I was like, that's enough.
Yeah. Mission accomplished.
For sure.
Fantastic. And then what triggers the end game?
Yeah, so the end game is triggered when enough cubes are added here.
Okay.
So again, cubes are added every time you launch, as well as when you accomplish company goals.
Gotcha.
So in this game here, and again, this is variable as well.
Yeah, I was about to ask.
So if someone builds 5 developments off their player board, they get to move their color cube up onto the track. The arrow goes up. And then if the next person wants to move this cube, I'll have to build 6.
They have to build 6.
And 7. And no one is ever shut out from that.
Right.
So in a 4-player game, if this was at the top,
it'd still be 7.
The 3rd and the 4th person would have to do 7. This is for just collecting sets of icons across your... Oh, so like yellow would have accomplished this earlier. Right, so yellow could have moved that up. And then this is just for dropping off these upgrade tokens onto different locations.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so what we tell people oftentimes is that the amount of time it takes this to fill up and the amount of time it takes the rest to fill up is about the same.
Oh, wow.
So this is like the halfway point.
Yeah.
And the next
everybody's just kind of starting to build things up a bit.
For sure.
But then everybody starts to reach critical mass, and then it's like bam, 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 bam.
Yeah. We had a game yesterday where someone had this, you may launch as your second action card.
Oh, yeah.
So they launch. On their next turn, they scheduled another cruise, played that card, and launched on their second turn. Oh, First time we've ever seen anyone launch in 2 turns back to back.
That is
because
wild.
the game is not designed for you to be able to do that. And then you have a card like this. It's like,
Oh, no,
actually, you can.
Were you like, uh-oh.
Yeah. So that's exciting.
Remember that tactic.
Exactly. And because we've played this game so many times, and we tried. I always say like we try stupid stuff. Or,
Right. Oh, yeah.
what if a player tried to do this? Like, what would happen? And we've, to our knowledge, sanded down every edge case where if you play this and you're like, I'm gonna try to break this game, chances are we've already tried to anticipate that.
Right.
Which makes it super fun where it's, where if someone is, getting a ton of victory points, but then someone else is able to launch twice in a row, it all balances out because it's designed to give you those good feel-good moments.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, I gotta say, like, I was pretty excited about it when I saw it at Gen Con last year. Now I'm like upset because I know I'm not going to be able to play this until you guys fulfill. Because yes, I did back this.
Fantastic. Thank you.
And I don't want to wait that long because this is. I mean, I'm a huge fan of Ian O'Toole. So like you had me at Ian O'Toole, but like this is getting its claws in me big time right now. So
good. That's what we like to hear.
No. This is fantastic.
Yes.
So when are you guys delivering?
So
As a tear slowly goes down my cheek.
so our estimated fulfillment is February.
Okay.
And that's buffering in like foreseeable delays. Obviously, if there's something crazy happens in the world, the world shuts down again.
Yeah. God forbid.
But that's basically taking factory timelines, distribution timelines, and then adding in there's probably going to be a week here, 2 weeks there.
There's a few weeks for chaos.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah, so we're hoping February next year. We're definitely saying like early next year this should be out to everyone. And I'll point this out. Like all the chunky pieces here, we don't even have everything necessarily out here.
Right.
We did one version of the game. So the version that you get on Kickstarter is the same one that you will get at your local game store. Everything will have game trays in it.
Right.
All the chunky meeples, all the dual layer. The only thing you see here that does not come just in the base
Standard.
is this neoprene playmat, which we offer separately, and it's offered post-campaign. Anyone can get it.
Nice.
But we do have a very nice board that is the same. You really just imagine this as a board, and that's pretty much what you got.
Yeah.
With this as a sideboard.
Is there obviously the Kickstarter has completed some time ago, and it's going to be a bit of time before it hits retail channels.
That's right.
Is there a way for people to pre-order this game?
Yes. Yeah, so we had the good fortune of being a partner publisher with Allplay.
Oh, lovely.
So on Allplay's website, there's already a place for people to pre-order this.
Okay.
And I'll say this, that the pre-order price is a little bit higher than the Kickstarter price was.
Makes sense.
But it is still below MSRP.
Okay.
So you're still getting a good deal pre-ordering from us, and we even have like the bundle deals if you want to get the game and upgraded bits and
the table. No.
the table. It comes with a plane ticket for me to come teach you the game.
Right, there you go.
But the playmat's there. We have card sleeves.
Show up at the door in a space capsule. Right.
That'd be amazing.
Right.
Amazing. I'll levitate into your home.
Right.
Teach you this game. But all that is on offer. We also have two kind of small mini expansions that came out alongside the base, the Kickstarter. Those are available on Allplay's website.
Fantastic.
So we didn't want anyone to be late to the party and not feel like they can get everything.
Right.
So there's nothing exclusive except for the price that we offered.
Yeah, so you didn't miss your shuttle.
You didn't.
Yeah, there's more shuttles coming. So
that's exactly right.
Fantastic. So what is the price at Allplay right now if you want to pre-order it?
So the pre-order price for
the base game
is $99.
Oh, that's great.
We offered it at $89 on Kickstarter.
Yeah.
MSRP is 109, so you're still saving a bit.
Nice.
And then like the bundles, I think there's a bundle that's at 154, maybe get you everything short of playmat sleeves.
Right.
And I think like everything we ever not everything we ever make. Everything we made for the game bundle is like 189, I want to say.
Awesome.
Don't quote me on that, but I think that's a good ballpark of what I'm offering everything.
This looks like a lot of game with some great table presence. It's definitely competitive for prices I've seen for stuff like this. I mean, I would compare like just the look. Well, I mean, all right. Obviously, it's easy to compare it to say a Lacerda, like an Evil Gryphon Lacerda game,
For sure.
because Tool.
That's right.
but like it definitely kind of has that same kind of table sexiness,
Exactly.
right? So
Yeah, like, our idea was like take like the Evil Griffin Lacerda,
yeah,
drop the price a bit, and then drop the
complexity.
complexity.
Yeah.
We were talking to another designer friend that we really love and respect, and he was saying he's like he feels like there's this untapped market for the 80% of Lacerda
Yes.
game.
Yes.
And it's like that.
Yep.
I think that's kind of where we're
That's great. That's a great way to
both
think
in
about it.
complexity and in price. So that's where we're trying to be.
Fantastic. Well, I mean, I don't know what else to say. It looks great. I'm gonna be mad that I can't play it yet after the
Hey,
let's
let's just play right now. We have a live game going right now.
But man, thank you so much, Koltin,
you.
for coming by
Always
and updating us on this. And this looks fantastic. I'm sure we'll see you at Gen Con.
Yes, we'll be there.
I guess I have one last question that I'm sure you can't answer.
Let's go for it.
What's next?
What's next?
You can't answer, can you?
Yes. All right, we're gonna bleep all this part out. Our next project is.
Yes. Okay. Fantastic. Definitely going to be keeping our eyes on Kinson Key going forward.
Perfect.
Can't wait to play this game. Go order this thing at All Play if you haven't done the Kickstarter already.
Please.
It looks great.
My family, they need to eat.
We did play it at a little sample game at Gen Con, and even in its unfinished state, it was just a blast. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure.